I could still feel the moment when I saw my baby girl, just 3 weeks old, no longer breathing. I still remember the shriek that I made outside, holding her lifeless body, screaming for somebody to help. I still remember my neighbors coming outside, everybody that was rooting for me when I used to walk around outside, because they said that helps get the baby out faster, it makes her come down more. And the same ones who were rooting for me were now crying for me. We're now holding my hand. We're now trying to resuscitate her, trying to give her body the life that she no longer had. I remember going to the hospital and them telling me something that I already knew, that she was no longer here. Then 2 hours later, having the audacity to call me and ask if I would like to donate her lungs, the same lungs that couldn't save her, that I needed to donate them. I still remember. And having to walk around, holding my breasts that were full of milk, because just a few hours prior, she was on them, getting the nutrition she needed for a body that was no longer going to be here. I bring up this story because this was the very story that pivoted my life, that changed the way that I thought about things. This was the very same experience that had me going through depression, had me going through substance abuse, suicidal thoughts. It was hard for me to even show up as a great mother to my son, who was 4 at the time and now 6 now, when I no longer had my daughter. I was once a mother of 2 living kids, and then went from a mother of 2 living kids to only one presently here in the flesh. I bring up this story to tell you guys that if I can get through the pain, the anger, the animosity towards myself, the animosity towards God, as a Christian woman, I was mad as hell. What was the point of giving me a child that you were going to allow to leave this earth in 3 weeks? She was alive way longer in my stomach than on earth out. I was angry at everyone. And then the crazy thing about it is 2 days prior to her passing, I asked God, what is it that you want for me to do? What is my purpose in life? Because at first, I was doing the mom thing. I had MILF Academy, which is now the MILF Society, the High Vibe MILF Society. And I still was clueless because I just still didn't know what this was going to do for me. I still didn't feel completely fulfilled. And it was almost like God was like, okay, you asked and I'm going to show you. You may not like the way I show you. You may not like that this is your destiny and your path, but I'm going to show you anyway because you asked that question. I share my story to tell you, if I can get through all of this, and I don't want to hear no excuses, mothers. I don't want to hear a goddamn excuse. Oh, I can't do it because I have 6 kids. I can't do it because I'm sad. I can't do it because I'm divorced now and I'm doing this stuff on my own. No, ma'am. There is a reason why your soul chose the path that you're on right now. So when you say you can't do something, when you say that you don't know how and you're not going to look for the resources in order to learn how, You are laughing in God's face. You're basically telling him, I know I can sing, but guess what? I'm not about to share my talent. I'm too nervous. I know that I'm meant to be a doctor, but I don't have enough time because I'm a mother. So the long nights and everything, even though I spend $20 to $25 a week on fast food that I shouldn't even be eating, that's not even nourishing my body, I can't go back to school. I don't have the money. But if you saved up the money from all the times you eat out, from all the times that you wanted to go on those spa days, which I do love that you're doing, but you can rest on that for a little bit. Have an at-home spa night for a change. Save that money so that you could be able to get the degree that you asked for and that you told God that that's what you wanted, and he's showing you. But you're not doing it because you're making too many mom excuses. So I share my story to let you know that if I can get up and rise up from losing my daughter, having to physically bury, having an open casket that I didn't even ask for, but that's another story. Having an open casket funeral, seeing her lifeless body again, going through substance abuse, having to go to rehab, having to sleep on my parents' couch for a year and then sleep in another, my old sister's room with my son for another year, having to be at a job that I didn't even like, wanting to move to a different state, but I was so afraid that something would happen to me or my son that I just was staying super stagnant. If I could get through that, I don't want to hear that you have several kids and you can't do anything because you don't have a babysitter. Girl, you better make a friend down the street. You better go on care.com like you go on Tinder. I don't want to hear that anymore. And you want to know also, one of the biggest things that was hard for me was that I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. Like, if I was to say, if somebody asked me, how are you feeling? Oh, I'm sad. You know, my daughter died a couple months ago, this, that, and the third. You know, I was so depressed. You know, I tried to actually force myself to have a man so that I could possibly start dating a person that could give me another child because my womb feels empty. Yeah, it was hard. But you know what I did? I had to get a coach. I had to go and talk to God again. I had to build my relationship back with him. I had to talk and be and take care of my son fully, even through the pain and the tears and the heartbreak. I had to break free from substance abuse. I had to do all of these things because I knew that it was not meant for me to just be stagnant. If she's going to pass away, which of course sucked, I'm not going to let that be in vain. So at the end of the day, if I can do it, I share my story because I want to be a living testimony to you. Hence, going back to when I was referring to not having someone to talk to about it because I didn't want to be that girl. That, oh, there goes that sad girl who lost her child and the one everybody gossips about that's sad, depressed, and things of that nature. No, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that person to talk to people and they felt heavy because I felt heavy. Because you attract who you are, but you also attract what you accept. I didn't want to give others the pain that I was experiencing. So I wanted to have a sisterhood. This is my computer at work. I wanted to build a sisterhood of mothers, not that all just experience, losing a child, but that experience losing their destiny, losing what they were supposed to do in life, losing their self in motherhood, and that was it. Losing their self in depression, losing themselves in just not feeling fulfilled as an individual. So I'm creating a group called the High Vibe MILF Society so that I can help other moms have a shoulder to cry on, have a person to laugh with, vent if they need to. It's my party, I could cry if I want to type vibes. Not a solemn, sad pity party. Because after you tell me how you feel, get up. Now what are we going to do? What are the actionable steps? So I realized, say, okay, maybe, just maybe, one of the reasons why I had to deal with what I had to deal with is so that if anybody ever has to deal with something like this, I could be their vessel and their living testimony to being able to get through it, to rise up, to rise up. Because life is just not about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Life is about experiences. And there are two steps, two sides to every coin. Just like there's two sides to every experience. And with my situation, I'm choosing now to think about it like she lost her life, unfortunately, so that I can live mine. That maybe it wasn't time for me to be a mother of two at the time. Maybe I wasn't in the best spirit to take on that. Maybe it wouldn't have been good for her. She was suffering from jaundice anyway. You never know. That same apartment, if she had not passed, we found out that there was two types of deadly mold. Black deadly mold that we were smelling every day. Me and her. So at the end of the day, maybe she passed to keep joy in our life. I don't know. I'm not God. But what I do know is I can no longer be sad and depressed over something I cannot change. I also know that had I had a sisterhood at that time, I would have been able to get through it a little bit better. Do I feel bad about that? Not necessarily, because things happen. And again, that's the reason why I'm creating my sisterhood, the High Vibe Mill Society. Because I want whoever's going through whatever as a mother, I want you to know that you have somebody right here to help you. At the end of the day, God didn't just make Adam. He made millions of people because we're not meant to be alone. So when you're going through what you're going through, I'm here, sis. When you feel like you're all alone and all you could talk to is those badass kids and you don't feel like it, you just cannot. I'm here. I want to give you the support that I deserved. I want to give you the friend that we all need. Because there's a reason why you're looking at this video. There's a reason why you're no longer with your baby daddy. There's a reason why your child may have autism. There's a reason why you never were able to finish college at that time. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it now. That doesn't mean that you can't date again. That doesn't mean that all hope is lost if your child has a sickness. But you know what can really help you through all that? A friend, a sisterhood, someone, some people to help you through that. That's what we're here for. To share the love of God and to share love with one another. So yes, I never, ever want anyone to feel sorry for me. Because we all go through things. So at the end of the day, at the time, I just needed a friend. The experience was going to happen. Just needed a friend. So, that's all I really have for you today. This is my first official YouTube video. I'm excited. My voice got kind of lost because I was like doing a lot of hollering yesterday. I was outside. Okay. Period. Moms need to have fun too. Okay. And that's just period. Make sure you follow me on all of my social medias at the DANI Milan, MILAN. Subscribe to my YouTube channel because we out here and we lit. Now that I can share my story, I hope it can help someone. And I hope you decide to join my sisterhood. I'm only one virtual call away. Okay? So, I guess that's all. Bye, cuties.